What's up? What's up? What's up? Um, so this is not really well. This is a response to some of these videos that people are out here making. I think people. I mean, we're not AJ fans, or most people aren't AJ fans, but I think my title is will probably happen in the fight. So AJ is supposed to fight Pulev. I think December 7th or the 1st of December or whatever. I mean, Pulev will get smoked like a black. Like that's not even. I don't even think it's up for discussion. Yes, the heavyweight division, everybody has one punch and everybody's trained the best they can and they're in the best shape of their life and they're going to take so and so into deep water. Let's look at here. Let's look over here. I'll put the link in the description if anybody wants to come in and discuss. It'll be short. I'm only doing this for like 15 minutes, if that. Let's see here. I know people don't like Joshua, but don't big up the opponent. I mean, Pulev is going to get wrecked. Like this guy is a no factor. What has he done since he fought Klitschko? Who has he fought other than Huey Fury, the Kingpin, Bogdan Danu? What's up, Mike?
What's happening?
What's going on? So I saw a video or a couple of videos of people. They're thinking that the same thing with Povetkin and White will happen with Pulev and Joshua. It might. This is all my opinion, but I think Pulev will get smoked like a black.
I mean, he probably is, but it's just that sometimes you just never know, especially when people come into fights of this magnitude. You know what I'm saying? They probably bring out all the bells and whistles because this is it. You know what I'm saying? And if he happens to win like this, I mean, against his guy, and go back home to Bulgaria or whatever and shit like that, he's gonna make a fucking killing because he's gonna be like, when was the last Bulgarian heavyweight champ that they ever had, or wherever he's from? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
So they have to. That's gonna be one of the key things, and ain't been that many of them. You know what I'm saying? So this is it. He's probably in his 40s too, ain't he?
Yep, he is actually.
Yeah, this will probably be his last shot at a heavyweight title, man. And he better make do.
Yeah, I just pulling up his record here. Damn. George Arias, good lord. Maurice Harris, who is that? Derek Chisora, split decision. Sam Peter, no comment. The Kingpin, my favorite fighter.
What year? What year did he fight Samuel Peter though? Was it like his decline or? Yeah, that was his decline.
2016. This is fights after, because I saw an article on Boxing Scene saying that Pulev had worked hard, blood, sweat, and tears to get his mandatory position.
I mean, but that's what they do with all these. I don't understand it. I don't understand it, and that's the reason why. That's the reason why. But that's the reason why boxing is in his state right now. I mean, I question how Wilder got his title because I had to, because look at the same way how Anthony Joshua got his, and it keeps happening like over and over again. People just popping up and getting ranked, or not even fighting anybody and not getting ranked. It's like you said, there's a rinse, wash, and repeat, but it's also a good old boy club thing going on.
Yeah.
And is Rob Peter to pay Paul, and we Peter.
Yeah.
It sucks. I mean, it sucks. Like, people want to talk about, the Zone, Showtime, HBO, CBS, Fox, Sky Sports, and all these guys and stuff like that. And you just read an article talking about this guy is
blood, sweat, and tears for the mandatory position.
And you can't. And they could justify that because they could swindle people's mindsets on who has he fought and when's the last time he fought and what's the frequency has he been fighting in. You know what I'm saying? And the media hasn't been doing a good job of calling out promoters, calling out networks, calling out fighters, promoters, managers, advisors. They ain't been doing a good job of calling them out, but these motherfuckers would call out a motherfucker fan in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it was a tall tale. See, Laws D can speak on more of this because he know more about, Matchroom and Sky Sports and all that stuff. But there was an interview with Tyson Fury's dad and Billy Joe Sanders getting on the guy at Sky Sports for not doing articles like the way they want him to. You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck is you?
Imagine.
You know what I'm saying? We write articles like the way we fucking want to. Sometimes be biased and sometimes be unbiased. You know what I'm saying? They have an agenda to push too, but I don't know, man. Like look at this. Like, look at that shit on the screen. It's like you don't even have to use BoxRec for this. But the only thing good about BoxRec because it shows
the
record of the person he fought, and then you could click on the person he fought, and then you can dissect their record too. Because we go by off of challenges and stuff like that. But sometimes you do have to break it down to the fighting style and stuff like that. That's why I'm saying is like, Pulev can get Anthony Joshua, but Pulev all he got to do is look at Andrew Ruiz.
Yeah, but he don't fight like him at all.
No, you ain't got to fight. You don't have to fight like him, but moves better than him. We know he a chunkier dude. He ain't so light on his feet, but you got to move. It's looked like it's proven that Anthony Joshua don't do well with fighters that move. You know what I'm saying? He don't do well with fighters that can move. Everybody else was standing in fucking front of him.
Can't believe he fought Rydell Booker, though. 7-year bid.
Oh, I ain't heard that name in a minute.
He fought Pulev last year.
Oh yeah, that's right. I saw that. That's right. I did see that. Was that the one in California or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember watching that. Yeah. I don't know what happened to that motherfucker. Hey, click on his name. Who has he fought since?
Rydell. Here you go. His hairline went back.
Damn.
Yeah.
Who has he fought last?
Where'd they take this? In commissary or something like that?
Nah, they could have pulled that camera down a bit. They could have pulled that camera down a little bit, like eye height. They got forehead height.
He took it to jail.
Who did he fight last?
Shit. Well, Pulev for last year, but before that, he fought. Remember when he fought Jermaine Franklin?
Yeah, but that was a tough decision right there. That was.
Yeah. I remember when he was basically out against Tony, and then nobody heard him. Well, I didn't remember. I watched it back. I was too young. I was like 6.
Yeah, that fight with Jermaine Franklin. I don't know about that one, bro. I don't know about no unanimous decision. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was saying that fight with him and Jermaine Franklin. I don't know about no unanimous decision, but the old dude gave him some work too. That old dude, the guy out of prison, he gave Jermaine some work too. I think that brother. I think that brother did some time.
Rydell, yeah. Rydell did, huh?
Yeah, he was a lot older than Jermaine Franklin. You know what I'm saying? I just hope that brother Jermaine Franklin, man, just get his shit on track. Yeah, get his shit on track and get up in there because we don't have that many youngsters up over here coming up. You know what I'm saying? Because some of these motherfuckers just ain't gonna amount to shit. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? We gonna be like, yeah, this dude, yeah, that guy, and they ain't gonna mount the shit.
I mean, I think we try to tell people, like, over here, the problem is all of our athletes are going to sports where they get paid better. I mean, like, if you have a son, Michael, I mean, you're going to try to make him into an NFL star or NBA star, get some money out of it and live good.
Yeah, or tennis.
Tennis.
Yeah, because you ain't got to worry about getting hit. I mean, that motherfucker, he could do that, get some sponsors and shit like that, stay the fuck off of social media, and next thing you know it, looking at, $100 million, and they had to, get his eye socket broke, get a concussion, fuck up his legs, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with the real Rick Ross played tennis. He had a scholarship, but he couldn't read.
Damn.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Derek Bailey? What's happening?
Hey, what's going on, Derek Bailey? Watcher, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, Watcher?
Yeah, but Michael, if you don't mind, do you want to repeat some of the stuff you said in the beginning? How it's an all boys club, and
yeah, I mean,
yeah, I'll be right back.
Like I said, it's a rob Peter to pay Paul, and we Peter. Us as boxing fans. I mean, they run in the sport of boxing, especially the WBC, is what we've been seeing. Like it's a good old boy club with all these networks and stuff like that, and all these fights and motherfuckers asking to fight a Yerdum and stuff like that for WBC, what's the super welterweight title, or whatever it is, whatever it's for, I forget. But to me, it's astonishing that none of ESPN, Sky Sports, BT Sports, Fox, CBS, all these networks out here. And you know what? A lot of these YouTubers out here, they more about, dangling off my fucking nut sacks than speak about the real things that's going on. We not getting the fights and we getting robbed. You know what I'm saying? UK got way more pay-per-views than us, and a lot of them YouTubers ain't complaining. I think these networks need to do a better job of, because at the end of the day, these networks get paid based off of the performance of that night. How many people tune in to watch? This is what these networks get paid off of, and these networks and these media companies is acting like they don't care. It's acting like, oh, whatever, we satisfied with this, and then the third, the fans are satisfied, blah blah blah, because ain't nobody listening to us. I bet you if these networks and these boxing promoters start putting fucking suggestion boxes and shit like that, the amount of shit that fans got to say and stuff like that, as far as the fights that we want to see, getting rid of some of these belts, getting rid of franchise champions, making sure they minutes is reported openly, so there could be some true transparencies with these guys, because there shouldn't be no Yerdum versus no Canelo. You know what I'm saying? And there's no way in God Green's earth there should have been a Canelo versus no fucking Rocky Fielding.
Yeah, of course not.
You know
what do you? I saw your video on it. Yeah, I'm not gonna stop you. Yeah, continue. Just to add on to the stuff about the Canelo stuff.
All right, because and a lot of this shit gonna go on. There's other fighters that's doing this shit, cherry picking. You saw the last Downey DeBoer fight. I wasn't happy with it, but you know what I'm saying. I don't want to. I'm sometimes you gotta let him slide once. Yeah, of course, he ain't been fighting the big names and stuff like that, but he's getting to there. He ain't had that many fights, so I'm gonna let him slide on this one time. Other than that, like, there should be no more of this. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it looks like they're trying to open more and more stuff out right now, open back up. So once stuff start opening back up, there shouldn't be no excuses. One of the excuses is, but they don't want to say it, they do want fans in the stadium.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say about fucking. That's why they want to push it back. Did you hear about them wanting to push it back to November?
And I don't blame them. And I don't blame them. But for what fight?
The Dubois Joyce fight.
I don't blame them, but because that's a couple extra mil. I don't know how much they charge per ticket and stuff like that. But if it's a 90,000 seat stadium or 80,000, you times that by 25. That's $1 million or close to $1 million. Because that's the minimum amount of tickets. That's the minimum amount that somebody had paid. Other than that, it's 75, 200, 300, a couple thousand. So I don't blame them because that's money in people. That's money in the fighters' pockets. There's money in everybody's pockets around, including on the undercard. But I always say if they really worried about putting asses in the stadiums and the seats, they will need to pay those motherfuckers on the undercard more when they come back, at least that one time. Because that doesn't make no sense to hold us hostage and then having to scramble around for all these motherfucking fighters just to give them $20,000-$50,000.
Yeah.
To get his bang free.
Wait that long for that.
Yeah. Because you got to think about those. Some of these cats is out there already know they own the undercard. They got to wait. And they ain't getting paid much.
Yeah, now that you put it like that, I mean, at this level, like for Eddie Hearn, like he shouldn't, I mean, well, that too, it's proportional, but I don't think a gate would hurt him as much as it hurts a fight like this, the Dubois Joyce.
Oh, man, that's gonna be. I think that's gonna be a big fight over there, a very big fight. But what you just said is absolutely true. As far
it'll hurt, but I think they do the AJ pay-per-views or whatever. So the gate isn't as Yeah, no, they were Richard Laurie, Nathan. I think I think it got rescheduled to that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna make everybody wait, right? Right. You're gonna make everybody wait, right? And then come fight night, you're gonna have these guys waiting like for months. No pay. Hopefully they get some of their training camps paid for, their food, and maybe a stipend a month, a check for living accommodation, you know what I'm saying? Living expenses.
Yeah, stipend.
But to give somebody, I just hope that he gets a good deal, man. Him and Richard Lartley and all them guys that night, man, because that's a lot of motherfucking money, bro. Like to go 3, 4, 5, 6 months without a fight. Oh, Nathan Gorman been longer than that, ain't he?
Nathan Gorman?
That's been longer than 6, 9 months, right?
Yeah, that's been almost a year.
Yeah, so that's
over a year.
Man, and some of them other cats that's on there, man, that probably can't get a fight, and damn, I feel sorry for him, man. I mean, watch your wife. I mean, to tell you the truth, a part of me probably wouldn't have went to Bulgaria either. Mm. Something about fighting over there in Russia is just something that I don't think I want to do. Mm-hmm. I don't think I want to do for Gerard Big Baby Miller, aka Mr. Juice-a-Lot, Sir Juice-a-Lots, right? Maybe when he was saying cheeseburgers, that's the code word. Code word for performance enhancement to him was cheeseburger. But for him to even say he's not going over there got to be something with it. There got to be. Maybe I need to look at his MMA record and see if he ever fought over there, and stuff like that. Maybe see who's Russian and Bulgarian or whatever on his Instagram and stuff like that. But there's something ain't right. Yeah. Something ain't right.
Yeah. I mean, Now you know when you're bringing up the gate and stuff. I mean, it'd be wrong. Like for me to say, okay, I want to see the fight in October. You know, I don't want them to push it back. But you know, with the gate and stuff, it's hard to say, okay, no gate, just figure it out. Because what is, you know, what are they going to figure it out with? Who's going to pay them? Where's the money going to come from if it's not coming from the gate? Can the adverts, are they going to get more ads? Are they going to get more pay-per-views? I mean, that stuff is up for chance. The only thing that isn't, or as much, is the gate. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I can't tell somebody. Man, it depends.
yeah.
But it's hard to say take a
I'm,
pay cut.
I mean, I'm not but this is me. This is me. I'm not saying let's wait. I'm just what I'm saying is
You know
just going
why?
down the list of reasons why they
Right.
will want to do this, and I can see their reasons why, and they're quite and they're valid. But am I saying that am I willing to wait that long? No,
Mm.
no, I'm not. I'm not willing to wait that long. I don't think it needs to wait that long. But I understand what they're doing. But because this fight should have been happening. Is you know what I'm saying? I don't know if it was Joe Joyce or it was Daniels or it was the mutual agreement. The reason why the fight didn't happen last year, but it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
what else you got? You talk about that DAZN shit?
Yeah, I was gonna. I know you did a video on it. I saw your video, and I put a comment saying "act of God." Um, they're gonna use, I think, something similar to that. More than likely, anybody would. And you told me that they might win. Do you want to expand on that?
I don't because I don't think they see they're gonna have to that's something they're gonna have to prove.
Mm-hmm.
Um by that's something they're gonna have to prove. Act of God. Heard you say this before, but it's just something that you're gonna have to prove. I mean,
Yeah.
if a dam breaks, and your house gets flooded, most likely they're not gonna make that an act of God. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if this constituted a plague, but obviously it's an emergency, state of emergency everywhere. Um, I I don't think I just don't maybe in legal terms um uh that's going that needs to be looked into because I haven't looked in the legal terms of what an act of God is. I didn't look up any other cases that won because of something called an act of God. So maybe that's something that maybe we need to look into. You know, on one of these colleges, major colleges, law library. See who had a
Mm-hmm.
court case and won for an act of God and see what the criteria of act of God uh, means legally.
Yeah. I know when I was out working in Illinois, my boss, uh, we're living in the same area over there, and the power was out for 3 days, like straight. And I said, "So what's going to go on here?" They said, "Well, it was out for a week 2 years ago." I said, "A week?" He said, "Yeah, a week." And when they sued, when their little community sued, they lost because the power company claimed act of God, and they really couldn't get anything after that. But I don't know the what type of circumstances. Well,
Yeah,
generally, but
yeah, you got see
depending on the
that's one you
case.
see that's one right there you can look into because maybe it was something that fucked up that wasn't supposed to
Hmm.
or or something like that that they could prove because that's what I was saying. You got to look it up because if they claim act of God for something like that, and this is going on in California, then maybe that's something they could prove. Or they could fight for.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good ass stuff. Yeah, yeah, but as far as else with that shit, man, like my stance is really just I think everybody, because I looked today, they updated some other stuff on there. I think they got like 21 days to respond, or it would default to judgment or something like that. So I'm skeptical about how far Canelo is willing to go on this. Like maybe will they settle outside of court for a disclosed amount and then keep the contract, keep everything flowing. Or because Canelo, he wants what he wants. The zone wants what they want. The zone want what they want. The zone got a contract with Golden Boy. Canelo has a contract with Golden Boy. So who knows? Maybe Canelo signed on that contract with that Golden Boy because he had to get that $365 million. So he had to sign something, or maybe that was already percentage that he had from Golden Boy. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he had to sign something for that with DAZN and Golden Boy promotion. But I'm skeptical about how far he's willing to take this. I'm skeptical if he really wants to leave Golden Boy. I'm skeptical if he wants to stay with DAZN but get rid of Golden Boy. I'm skeptical if his claims are true. I'm skeptical if Oscar De La Hoya has been doing what he's supposed to with Canelo, and I'm also skeptical that DAZN has been knowing what the fuck they've been doing.
Yeah.
So there's multiple factors in it, and it just all comes down to we are going to have to wait until we get some proof and some evidence, because Oscar De La Hoya ain't gonna want to talk about this. Bernard Hopkins better not say nothing about that. But guess what?
Where is he? What happened to him in a while?
No, Bernard Hopkins ain't implemented.
Yeah.
Bernard probably just trying to stay away from all this COVID shit. He probably staying his black ass in the house.
Yeah, I know he's a health freak.
But the zone, them guys is definitely not gonna say nothing. I mean, look, they thought they was gonna come up over here. And last year they got on the mic talking about how, a lot of these guys networks are going to go broke. HBO was already it said, yeah, HBO going, and everybody want to act like HBO was taken out by DAZN. HBO was already getting out.
HBO was on its
way. They only had like a contract for like what, 2 fighters at the time?
Yeah, I think. When did DAZN come? 2018. Huh? DAZN was summer of 2018. Okay, and HBO's last card was December, but I'm pretty sure they put out that it was going to be their last card that month of June or close to it. So there's no way it acts like it was their fault. But like you said, I mean, they came in here, they thought they were going to just, flip, blow the roof off this place. But the problem is it's like a gingerbread house boxing right now in this country. Not many people know it. So if the guys can't do it here, why does he think that he could come over here and he could do it too? And it showed he couldn't.
Well, I think what their problem is that they probably should have snuck in over here and did it gradually but surely. You know what I'm saying? Grab fighters by way of other promoters and had to do fight-by-fights with other networks, and then came up over here and then start having them fight on their network and getting other fighters to fight on their network. I mean, because they didn't want to come up over here, or maybe they pitched to Heyman, maybe they pitched it to Salido and all these other guys over here, and they just wasn't with it. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe they figured, just like we figured, like it wouldn't work. You already have too many networks, first of all. Boxing has seemed to take a hit due to fighter and promotional commitments to network or allegiance to networks, and these boxing commission it's been taking a hit because of it. You know what I'm saying? And you go bring that shit in, and it took another hit. And you can see it, who these guys on the zone are fighting. I mean, you gonna come up over here and tell us you want Canelo versus Danny Jacobs and another Triple G fight instead of but Sky Sports and all these guys are always quick, and the zone always quick to put out polls on who the fans want to see fighting next.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But you didn't do that for that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you got a guy like Canelo talking about he ain't fighting no more Mexicans no more. So that kind of messed it up right there too. You know, you got, you know, people still crying, people still talk about Canelo should fight a couple Brits. Okay, cool, that's fine and dandy and all, but guess what? That's not going to help the zone. Because don't nobody know them dudes. You know, people want to insinuate before the zone came over here, Canelo Alvarez was making all this buku money off of pay-per-views. But he wasn't going to make no pay-per-view money fighting the Rocky Fielding or no Euro. You know what I'm saying? If Canelo was to do another Triple G fight, do you think the fans would get tired of that shit?
Yeah, eventually. Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you got
Triple G hasn't even fought himself since Derevyanchenko. What was that, end of 2019 or end of 2019, right?
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. And you know, if Canelo leaves the zone, if because I made a video a long time ago that the amount of money that they gave to Canelo, they're not going to get it back.
Yeah.
Not based off of the viewership numbers that he do for his own fight. Maybe they could get it through other means. Of just overall out of all the subscriptions they have all over the world, then they collect that up and pay themselves back off of that and off of this and off of that. But Canelo, that 365 million 11 fight for 5 years, that took, I told in that said it in that video, that took all of those are his wonder years. Those are the best time of his career, and he gave them away for 365 million to an app that nobody knew its name. When he could have done that, when he could have got possibly made 100 million in one fight.
Yeah, days of.
He could have possibly got 70 to 80, 70 to 100 million in one fight. But he chose not to fight the right fights. Get in there, stick with Golden Boy Promotions. Get in there, put himself with that DAZN, and this is the biggest contract in boxing, right? But it's also probably going to end up to be the biggest heist in boxing, and it's going and Don King, he's going to take that title off of Don King, because if he wins for 260. 280 million plus, because you got paid a couple fights, so you're not gonna get the whole contract. You're gonna get the damages and all that stuff if he happens to win. If he could prove everything that he was saying, or a couple of those things that he said that that has been violated. He's gonna get that money back. He's gonna take that money and run off if he wins, or get some of that, half of it. And he's going to have a few more fights, and he's going to triple up. He's going to triple up. And if I was Canelo, man, I'm not even going to blame him. If I could take 5 to 10 mil to gamble, I would gamble on taking this to court so I can get out of that goddamn Golden Boy contract. Straight up. Straight the fuck up. Because Canelo's big enough to do it on his own. See what I'm saying? He don't need somebody that he don't like control his career. So, and you see it on the tape, at the press conference, he didn't even talk to him, didn't even look at him. So he kept it straight professional, didn't talk to him, didn't look at him. So you know, if that's happening multiple times, and you hear him crying on Twitter or Instagram and shit about Oscar De La Hoya, because we got to think about it though. For a fighter to go after their promoter on social media, that probably means they exhausted all means besides suing.
Yeah, all forms of that's a good
point.
Yeah,
or running up
all means. Yeah, that's a good.
You know what I'm saying? You're pretty frustrated, you know. So you know, I can see if maybe you was on some Adrian Broner shit and just trying to create some controversy, some fake beef and shit like that, so he can sell some tickets. But that wasn't the case, you know. But like I said, but at the end of the month, at the end of the month, we should be hearing some more about this. You know, they're not going to talk about it. They can't, because they don't want to end up saying the wrong thing, and stuff like that. So they're not going to talk about it. You know, Bob Arum, Al, Lou, all these, you know, all these other promoters and stuff like that, they probably know of something. But, you know, that's gonna be like the right person asking them on the mic, and they probably give out something. They probably know something. Like, you gotta understand, is like, if you gotta Oscar's either two things. All right, one point. Let's just insinuate this. You have functional cokeheads and you have non-functional cokeheads. Most cokeheads, guess what? They're not just snorting coke. They're doing other things, smoking weed, excessive drinking, and stuff like that. So you have functional and you have non-functional, right? Even if you are a functional, there's going to be times to where you're not going to do the right thing. You're going to miss deadlines. You're going to lash out at people, and end up in fishnet, end up in uncompromising positions with kitchen utensils.
You're not going to be all there. You're not going to be all there during the board meeting and everything like that.
Right. Go ahead.
Yeah, like, I mean, I know we've heard it. All these guys, these top CEOs or executives or, you know, company founders or whatever they are, you know, they do drugs behind the scenes. But the moment they get caught slipping or they're not acting right in a board meeting or whatever, they can't split the two. They're out of there. So I don't know how. I think because Oscar actually owned, it's probably a majority, or he probably, I don't know how much of a stake he has in this company, even though he started it. But because he's a key figure, they might find it hard to push him out. They might need to buy him out. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, the judge. See, I don't know too many ways they can get somebody out of the contract, but I know now. Well, look, I put it like this too. When you sue for things like this, you better hope that you don't have a clothes hanger and in your backyard. You know what I'm saying? Because all your dirty laundry, all those little shitty ass drawers, is gonna be exposed.
Yeah.
Because all your shady practices that you probably done with somebody else, they're probably gonna bring them in for character witness. All them other people that was around at the time, and stuff like that heard things that he said and stuff like that. When it comes to Canelo and not making certain fights and probably just being nasty and angry and spiteful, that's gonna come out. You know what I'm saying? His drug habit, that's gonna come out. His alcohol habit, that's gonna come out. Sexuality, that's gonna come out. So all these things are gonna come out, and the jury's gonna have to decide if the stuff on paper is adding up to who the guy to his contract with these two guys, and prove that he's not been doing right per contract. You know what I'm saying? It's like you being in a contract with Bob Arum, and then you find out Bob Arum stop you from making money, big money, i.e. Pacquiao.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it. So if Crawford was to fight Pacquiao and beat on Pacquiao, pretty sure that probably would have had a rematch, right?
Yep.
He would have been on top. Couldn't nobody come around here say shit about him no more. Everybody and their mama would have been trying to fight him, and that would have been more break for him. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's not that much of a talkative guy, but he would have been in no matter what, his career would have been in a better place than it is today.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of re-upping, and then you showed us some paperwork behind the scenes about Mr. Crawford and the terms of his agreement with Mr. Arum.
Mm-hmm. See, because this is what that was. And this is what I'm trying to tell folks, man. And this is what a lot of people don't understand. The suing is a part of business. See what I'm saying? Suing is a part of business, my brother. See, in America, when you want something and the other person doesn't want to give it to you, even though you know you got it in your contract, you got to sue them because they're not going to give it to you. Mm-hmm. So they knew. See, this is the reason why the lawsuit came up with Crawford, Top Rank, and the other promoter he had, right? So when he signed over to Bob Arum, right, Crawford had signed an agreement that he would give up X amount of percentage for his like couple fights after he got away, after he left. See what I'm saying? And so they sued him. They sued him for that money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you mean to tell me he knew he signed it, Bob knew he signed it, but they still had to go to court for it, for that guy to get his money.
Yep.
So that can be partially why Crawford ain't been fighting no big fights either. I think that's been over now, but that could have been partially why he didn't want to give up that dude a check.
Mm-hmm.
A big lump sum. Every time he fought. So I think it was like 5 or 10%.
Yeah, what did actually I'm not gonna speak on the specifics of the case, but yeah, it was 6 figures, right? Arum paid Benavidez, like you were saying. And he went over to Top Rank, and the old promoter, that Sampson guy, went and got it back from the lawsuit, like you were saying.
Yeah. So this shit happens, man.
Or he had to give the money back and go back to the promoter, something like that.
No, he had to give the money back.
Yeah,
like you know what I'm saying. But you see what I'm.
Could you imagine doing that
with somebody? Now you try to renege at the end of it. You know what I'm saying?
Could you imagine doing that? Somebody hands you $250. I mean, all right, I guess I said it anyway. $250K. And to go play for another football team, and you're about to go, but then you got to give it back.
No, he had to give like 5-10% of that $250.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then and then got to think about it, though, he had to pay everybody else and pay taxes.
That's pretty much dried up by then.
So yeah, so you know what I'm saying? So he probably had 50% of his check gone before taxes.
Yeah, off the bat.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm trying to say. Is like they read these contracts. They read them. And then you put us in Canelo's situation. He read the contract. The Zone read the contract. Oscar Bernard and their lawyers all read the contract. Somebody ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody ain't right. And the only way to recoup your money and damages is to sue. Because sometimes people don't They don't want to give the money up. They don't want to do what's right until you hit them. See, and this is what I like about it is Canelo didn't have to go around and beat nobody up. He didn't have to go around and cuss nobody out. He didn't have to go around and act a motherfucker fool. He did. What he's doing right now is trying to beat them at their own game, and that's the only way you win. That's the only way you're gonna win. Come out on top. But like I said, somebody's wrong, man. Somebody did that wrong, and this is the only way he's gonna come out and get that money. He ain't gonna get that money. Not doing nothing about it. He's gonna have to sue and let the courts decide his fate, basically.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting though, man. If this shit goes all the way, and they got to go up in there and give out exhibits and shit like that, and you start seeing contracts and emails and other shit like that, this is gonna could get bad. To me, after looking at because remember, obviously, Golden Boy don't know what they're doing too much anyway. They tried to sue Al Heyman, and all the evidence that they presented, the judge said, "You screwed your own case." Well, all this evidence you just gave me, you just screwed your own case. That's what he said, and they lost. So you know what I'm saying? You got to be mindful of. That's the reason why I'm thinking that Canelo got a valid point, but we just gonna have to wait and see because the dude got a weird track record, man. And it's sad to say that's I'm leaning on judging this book by its cover.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What we got this weekend?
Not much. I'm looking at it now. There is this Umar Sadiq guy who's fighting this Fedor Chudinov in Russia. I remember Chudinov. I know both the fighters, but it seems like a huge step up for Sadiq. I think he just got paid big money to go over there. Top rank. 2 losers are fighting. Miguel Mariaga. You know, he's always the opponent versus Joey Gonzalez, the other opponent who lost Shakur Stevenson.
I remember that name.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Worst hype up to a fight ever. So-and-so, sister's girlfriend or whatever. Nobody cared about.
Who?
Exactly. Shakur Stevenson versus Joey Gonzalez. I said worst hype up to a fight ever.
Yeah,
they made it about sister's girlfriend BS.
Yeah, that was just some bull. That was just they just hyped that shit up. And, you know, and, God bless their souls for doing that. You know, giving that dude a good look. You know what I'm saying? Hyping that shit up because you know, I wasn't, you know, even Stevie Wonder knew who was gonna win that fight.
Yeah.
And he ain't never seen none of them.
It really, to be honest, doesn't get started until the end of this month. That's the big card, I think. Everybody is looking forward to. I'm looking at it, and there are a couple good fights in and around that day, like Tony Yoka versus Duopa. I think that's an okay fight. Who else they've got? Oh yeah, remember they? I don't know if you remember, but they did a cruiser final. They did another WBSS for cruiserweight the second time. The final is the 26th of this month. It was supposed to be in March, but they did it for the 26th. This Dorticos versus Bradis. I don't know if you care about that or not. I don't blame you if you don't.
Nah, I don't.
Yeah, but because I know Brooklyn was saying the same thing about who really cares about the cruiserweight division. mean, most people don't. I mean, I like some fighters,
but that's the reason why I'm not a fan of that super cruiserweight division, because you can't get the heavyweight division right. You can't get the cruiserweight division right. You see what I'm saying? And you're gonna add another division. You're gonna add another, and then all the other sanctioned bodies got to get on board and stuff like that, and have they little have all they goddamn belts. So it ain't gonna do nothing but water it down. They have to get rid of some of these all these supers to me need to go away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All these supers need to go away. Some got to, really, to tell you the truth, there's something they have to clean house before they start adding shit. WBC has been doing a lot of things like this, adding stuff to get fans involved and shit, and it ain't been working. It hasn't been working. And the reason why it hasn't been working is because they haven't cleaned house first. They haven't fixed what the problem. They haven't tried to do steps to fix why boxing is the way it is.
Yeah, instead of trying to add all this extra stuff, so it's more sanctioning fees. So it's more belts, more bouts, more sanctioning fees at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I get you, but just to double back, I know we're going to be talking about this a lot this month, but that whole Charlo card, I know Laws did a video on it.
That's why you don't need to repeat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of, I see what the them brothers is doing and stuff like that on social media. I think they're doing a good job, or promoting themselves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because obviously, a lot of these boxers and in the sport of boxing haven't been getting promoted. They got promoters, but what the boxing fans, they couldn't tell you that. They couldn't tell you. The boxing fans can't tell you what a boxing promoter does. You know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing you can see. There's nothing you can see what they're doing. It's like, I think Deontay Wilder, I think in his whole boxing career, I think whatever he's been doing by himself has been working to an extent. But it would have been nice for people that have been that have allegiance to Al Heyman and stuff like that. That he never tried to do anything. Ooh, he didn't make it in. And it's sad. It's like you got the one dude out there that could have just said his name a few times throughout his whole career and say, yeah, man, you looking good, blah, blah, whoop, whoop, whoop. Instead, what you say is, oh, this motherfucker gonna lose this one, he's gonna lose that one. Nah, this ain't the third. It's like, you be bigging up your fighters and they about to lose. They about to get their ass whooped. They ain't about to mount the shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, I can see why a lot of fighters and a lot of people get rubbed the wrong way about him by, just looking on the outside. I can see why people can have
Charlo, Jamel or Jamal?
No, just talking about like people in general just looking.
Oh, Wilder, yeah.
And just looking at him in the sport of boxing, just be like, something just don't rub you right. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, I don't know. What's up, Watcher? What's happening, baby?
Yeah, he said he'll be back. But yeah, I don't know why I have such a bias against the small Charlo. I just like Jamal better. I mean, I just don't like Jamal that much. But I look at his resume, and it isn't bad. It's a solid resume, and this is a good doubleheader for the two fights. The undercard could be better, but I think the Derevyanchenko fight is a very good fight. I know he's gotten chances, but I think that's a very good fight to see where Jamal's at middleweight. And of course, the Rosario fight, it is best fight the best technically. right? So I think it's a good doubleheader. What's up, Mr. Sheldon?
What's up, man? What's going
What's
on?
going on?
What's going on,
What's
y'all?
happening?
What's up, Watcher? How are you
Michael
doing?
Johnson.
How
watching.
we doing? Mr.
What's
Shelton
happening,
is back again.
It's the real me this time.
The real you. I saw some other phonies.
Yeah, walking in here with your shorts on and shit.
I think people just want to be you.
I don't know what
it is. I got this stalker, man, just following me from channel to channel, bro.
He on your ass.
So Mr.
And
Sheldon,
he got multiple accounts.
Mr. Sheldon changed his avatar. Let me change it just like this. Did I do it right? What's up, Derek Bailey? It's the 26th, the end of this month. I think that's the fight, or that's the card that everybody here is looking forward to.
Yeah. But the Charlos, man, I thought a lot of those. I mean, I like what they're doing for the sport of boxing, man. They got they hosting their own events and stuff like that. The Lions only shit.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a few of those, and some of those fights are competitive, man. But the main thing about it is like it helps these guys that don't nobody know get ranked. It helps people to get introduced to them and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't understand, like, up over here is like, a lot of people don't. Well, I know why a lot of people don't want to get into boxing, but don't talk about those Lions only cards. I think their events are pretty good, man. I think they on to something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hopefully they could get their little circuit up and expand it as they can, but they're doing what they can with it. And I mean, you can't knock them. It's a good job, I guess. So I'm gonna say, what do you guys think about the card though this month? I know this is supposed to put the exclamation point.
Hold on, I'm gonna be right back. Y'all go ahead and speak.
Okay. What about you, Mr. Sheldon?
Yeah, I hear y'all was kind of overlapping.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just talking about the Charlo fight. What you guys think about it? Either you, Watcher, or Sheldon. Anybody can jump on. Give your opinion about it.
Which one? Both?
Yeah, let's start with Derevyanchenko. I think that's the fight. That's the first one, right? That comes early in the night.
I think I love Jamal. I love his style. I like his mindset. I think he's really good for boxing. And he's probably the more calm out of the two, which is very clear to see. It's a fight, Derevyanchenko, he's no quitter. He's throws good combinations. He throws good to the body. He's got a good awareness of the ring. He's experienced as well. I just think Jamal's size, power, ability, and the way Derevyanchenko comes through the middle, I think that will suit Charlo. I think Charlo will win late stoppage or decision. I think Charlo's he's got that timing on that left hook a bit better as well. And that uppercut, man, is pretty nasty. So I got Jamal Charlo in that fight. Tough fight though.
Yeah, I think he'll probably have trouble figuring him out because I know Derevyanchenko likes to do the herky-jerky with the head movement. He likes bobbing and weaving and coming in through the middle, and he throws up big hooks over the top. I mean, yeah, I think a lot of people share the same opinion I do. I mean, I haven't yet seen somebody who's picked Derevyanchenko. It is a tough fight, but I think most of us look at the size of Charlo. I think he'll have too much, I think.
Yeah, Chenko is a good fighter.
Yeah, it'll be a tough fight.
It's a good matchup. I think Chenko beat Triple G's ass.
Yeah, I thought he won that fight. I thought he won that fight. Yeah, I definitely do think Charlo will have too much. What do you think about the Derevyanchenko fight, Mike?
Huh? Oh, the Derevyanchenko fight?
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be good.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good fight too.
I think you know, as long as he fights his fight, as long as Charlo fights his fight, that's what you're talking about, right?
Yep, yeah.
As long as Charlo fights his fight, he'd be all right. But if he tried to do anything other than that and stuff like that, he's gonna lose. I'm talking about like the game motherfucking plan. As long as he sticks to his game plan, I think he'd be all right. And it'd be on to the next. I mean, but the thing about it is that, you know, people are still going to give Charlo shit, even if he wins, in my opinion. They're still going to give him shit. But guess what? You're getting a competitive fight. This is not going to be, you're getting a competitive fight. This is not going to be some Charlo can't get knocked out. This is not no Charlo can't lose to a decision. This is not going to be that fight. This is going to be this is going to be all the bookies. A lot of people, are favoring Charlo to win because of size and skill set, right? But at the end of the day, this is boxing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if one of these dudes ain't been doing what they supposed to do in the gym and doing too much jaw jabbing and jawing at the mouth on social media and exercising their Twitter fingers and they dick beaters, you know, it's not gonna be a good look. You can't come in there like the great white hype and with one of the Wayne's brothers and just eat ice cream and hot dogs all day, get in the ring with a big ass belly and whoop on somebody. You know what I'm saying? This is not going to go down like that. And you can't complain about this fight as a fight fan. You can't, especially in the state that we fucking in right now. Better be lucky we even got this shit.
Yeah, I mean, I know somebody. I think I heard. I don't know if it was in our chat or somewhere else, but people said that Derevyanchenko had too many chances. I see that. I mean, he has had two, but the thing is, like, with Derevyanchenko, okay, if you didn't fight Derevyanchenko, the next up was really who? Canelo. He's not fighting now. Jacobs is doing his thing at 168, or Andrade. And other than or Triple G, I mean, Triple G isn't fighting. I mean, there's not much between all those guys. You see what I mean? Derevyanchenko.
How many? Oh, Danny Jacobs had too many shots.
Right.
Then what you gonna say with that?
Same deal.
He got too many shots. Then what you gonna say?
Andrade hasn't fought anybody, or I think all those guys. Derevyanchenko is basically, for me, how he beats Derevyanchenko is a gauge for that's a top. This is a top 4 or 5 middleweight. And there's not much in between that top 5. You know what I mean?
Man, let me tell you something. If I was Demetrius Andrade, man, I would have been calling for Billy Joe Sanders' ass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that fight would have been a good fight. And that probably would have brought the best out of that guy for, you know, fighting him. He probably would have took his ass to the gym instead of fucking with Hooker. But it's just unfortunate. Like, it's like these guys just keeping people in their fucking back pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like, just in case something else don't work out. You know, and that's just the way it is. You know.
Is my stream clear? Is it going in and out? I don't know. I'm not on YouTube.
No, it ain't going in and out.
It's solid.
I mean, I can't see YouTube right now. I'm not on the computer. But
okay.
It's not going in and out on here. I just can't wait, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, I think this is a great doubleheader.
I can't wait for the Daniel fight. Hopefully, at the end of the month, we hear some news about Wilder and Fury. But Fury is talking about some, you know, calling out WWF superstars. So maybe he might go do some of that again to try to boost his profile over here. You know what I'm saying? But this is what Fury has to understand. And I hope he does understand this. Without no Deontay Wilder, there is no pay-per-view for you over here.
None whatsoever at all.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I hope he knows that, because you have to be a special kind of guy to just do pay-per-view after pay-per-view after pay-per-view after pay-per-view after pay-per-view. A couple of bums here, a couple of not so good guys here, a couple of tune-ups, you know what I'm saying, or whatever you want to call them. You know what I'm saying? And if that's the case, he might want to go up over there. But if he goes over there and do that WWF shit, that's going to take a couple of weeks out of his training. So if it takes a couple of weeks out of his training, like maybe 1 or 2, maybe 2 to 3, maybe 4 weeks out of his training, it's going to push the fight back. And guess what? If they pay Tyson Fury $20 million to go over there and have a match, that fight is not happening this year. We about to be in October, right?
About to be.
We about to be in October. Ain't no fight date. Ain't nothing being said, but a whole bunch of speculation. So if ain't nobody saying nothing now, but you have people that's not even in the loop running their motherfucking mouth, Edward Hearn. So you just never know. But guess what? The more time Tyson Fury waits, like if Tyson Fury goes and do that WWF shit and want to push the fight back a couple weeks or a month, and the shit happens next year, you have to think about this. For Tyson Fury to take Deontay Wilder this year will be his best bet on solidifying a win against him. Sooner than later. You wait a couple more months, this guy's gonna be fresh. And Tyson Fury don't want that. You know what I'm saying? He wants the freshness and everything in his favor. And that's the reason why he was saying, you better take this shit or I'm going somewhere else.
Yeah, with that fight, my thing is I just don't see Fury beating, a Wilder who's, in a Wilder who's 80%. Because the Wilder I saw in there versus him the second time was maybe at 40%, if that 45, because he wasn't moving his legs at all. Like there was a problem, and I don't understand why people don't say that. Like you see breakdowns and stuff, and people say, "Oh, well, Fury totally outclassed Wilder. He brought it to him, and he was leaning on him, and he was using his right jab." I mean, anybody can do that versus somebody who can't physically move.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the reason why I'm saying is like, you know what? If you're a wounded animal in the ring, the best thing to do is to do what a wounded animal do.
Yeah.
And that's just tear that ass up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Even he didn't have anything on those shots. When Wilder would throw a right hand or a left hand, it would have a oomph. You know what I mean? Yeah. You could hear it. But in that fight, I just heard like plat, like nothing.
To me, all he had to do he needs to move against this guy better than he did in the first fight. And the reason why I say that is because with all that herky-jerky stuff that he does, he has to make him miss. You know what I'm saying? Make this dude miss and capitalize off of it. You can't just throw a jab and not have a follow-up with this guy. The best thing to do is to hit this dude off center. Because this guy, if you standing in front of him, he only gonna throw anything. He gonna throw wide hooks, try to hit you behind the ear. He gonna try to hit you when he gonna try to check hook you. He gonna try to throw that right at a downward angle and try to hit you on the top of your head or behind your head.
Put his forearm on you.
The best thing to do is really, to tell you the truth, take some of those punches out of his own game and use it against him. Because he probably never had nobody that tall do shit like that. You know, you got to switch your game up. The guy probably eats, sleep, and shit Deontay Wilder fights. You know what I'm saying? And so he's looking at him. He's looking at how he, his last couple fights to see how he moves and stuff like that. And he picked him apart by doing so. That's why I'm saying, in this coming up fight, he's got to do something different. He ain't got to this is the thing. What people don't understand is, it's kind of like me giving you financial counseling, right? Mm-hmm. Me as a financial counselor, I'm not supposed to change who you are. See what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm just supposed to give you I'm just supposed to give you a few tools to make you better. And that's the reason why when that one dude said Mr. Dickey, the dude with his dick out on Long's channel, that when he said George Foreman can't do this for Deontay Wilder because he's too old and blah 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 woo. Well, there's another thing he has to understand is Deontay Wilder hasn't been boxing that long. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't been boxing his whole childhood life and stuff like that. And he's still learning.
16 years.
Yeah, in the game, right? Yeah, still learning in the game. Started. Some of these guys, they're in their 30s and they already have damn near almost 30 years.
Yeah.
In boxing. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that he doesn't have to change who Deontay Wilder is in the ring. He just has to add a few more tools. And he might not even need them, but having a few extra tools won't hurt. You know what I'm saying? It won't hurt because your main objective against the fighter is not get hit, get off before they do, and keep them from doing what the fuck they want to do in the ring. That's my opinion. Don't get hit. Hit them, get off before they do, and keep them off their game plan and pick them apart. You know what I'm saying? Because if you let this dude do whatever the fuck you want to do in the ring, he's going to keep up with it like anybody else. They smell a shark, smell blood in the water. You think he's just going to pass by? No, he's going to investigate. Then he's going to tear that ass up. Literally pick you apart. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my thing, because that's just the football standpoint, because you don't want to change everything about a player because there's always something about them that adds to it. But you also want to make sure that they have the tools for the basics. See what I'm saying? At least the basics. You know what I'm saying? And that'll make them a better player.
Right. Just to add on, I think unless you really looked at the second fight objectively, then most of them are going to be biased for Fury in this third fight. I don't think enough people have actually sat down and looked at the second fight, because I say it all the time. If the decaf, my friend Kamal, can walk up to me while we're working on a project and said, "Did you see the so-and-so fight last night?" I said, "Yes, I did." He said, "Well, Wilder wasn't his usual self. He wasn't jumpy." If he could recognize that, no bias, no nothing, nobody told him to say that either, then I think most people do or overlook it. Just my opinion.
Well, right. I don't think that was ever overlooked. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think in the sport of boxing, a lot of these commentators and stuff like that, you know, they're more fixated on just giving people their fucking win. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Especially these guys on Twitter. They don't want to talk about what was wrong with the fight leading up to the fight and stuff like that.
I'll be right back.
Because then, you know, they'd be like, oh, those are excuses, and this and the third, blah, 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 whoop. But motherfuckers know the deal. If you get in the game, if you get in a soccer match, right? And this team has a guy that average on scoring, right? Goals, three to 4 goals a game, right? 3 to 4 goals a game. And this particular game, he couldn't play. And your team is against this team. And y'all end up beating them by 2 points. You would know deep down inside, like, damn, you know what? If they would have had that guy, they probably would have had a chance. See what I'm saying? You know now, well, as a player, you know, damn, it sucks to be them, though. You know what I'm saying? It sucks to be them. But do you think that BT and Sky Sports ain't gonna be like, damn, if they had so and so, blah blah blah, this would have happened? Because maybe to that team, that was that team's leg. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, we have games like that. You know, we have this game we have a Pittsburgh Foreman, and we did scouting, and we didn't see this wide receiver was supposed to be their best wide receiver, or this running back, or that quarterback, or one of their best linemen wasn't there. We know the deal. You know what I'm saying? And but we're not gonna give them the W. We're not gonna take an L off if we win. But I am gonna tell people it's like, damn, we played a shitty ass game. If maybe if those guys were there, we would have got our asses whooped.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I keep it funky. You know what I'm saying? I keep it. I don't live in a fairy tale. And for Sports Center and all these guys not to pick up on that and stuff like that, it's just mind boggling. Maybe, you know, as this fight gets closer and they start doing press conferences and stuff like that, maybe that would help out a lot. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that would bring a couple of things to life. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't. I see Wilder Fury, the build up to this fight. You know, it's gonna be a whole bunch of Wilder sucks and Wilder can't box.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be these guys. These guys ain't gonna have no love for Deontay Wilder. You know, the Timothy Bradleys, the Wards, Tony Bellew, you know, he's gonna be up there running his fucking mouth, even though he's scared to death of Wilder. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that's just the time we live now. You gotta think about it though. Now's the time to get his ass, because if Wilder loses this one, then they could be like, well, I told you so.
Yeah.
So what if they wrong? You know what I'm saying? So what if Wilder ends up knocking out Tyson Fury? They can still keep up the thing of, oh, that's all it takes in boxing, just one punch, and then the third is like, hey, ain't no skill in landing that one punch.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to just shift the goalposts wherever they need to. I mean, we saw it against White and Povetkin. Oh, well, it only takes that one. They said the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, this is the funny thing about it is, it's like, all it takes is that one punch, right? This is the heavyweight division and all that stuff. You know, we see it all the time. In every weight class, you know, this guy coming up and he's knocking out everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, as soon as he steps up, it goes to a goddamn split decision. You know what I'm saying? It literally goes to a fucking split decision. You know what I'm saying? Then he has split decision, mid decision, draw and all these other things that somebody said about. Because guess what? It's a different level of competition. Just like Wilder's career. Maybe Dominic Brazil wasn't always all that bad. Maybe even Bermain Stavern, the first gen Bermain Stavern, maybe he wasn't all that bad.
No, he was. Maybe at one point solid. He was a solid.
Maybe at one point Chris Arreola wasn't that bad if he could leave the bottle alone. If he could put the bottle down, because he can't.
My thing with the Wilder fights, right, is like people like to. Well, he hasn't fought a top 10, but they never say top 10 at the time. They always say top 10 afterwards. If he ruins a career or a fighter isn't the same, then that doesn't mean that he was like that when he fought him, right?
No, because that's what you call a alternative fact. That's what you call an alternative fact, and that's where they key the word social media influence off of, because people, they can post stuff that's alternative facts and make people believe it. Those are social media influencers, right? So it's really a top 10 of what? That's the real question. I'll ask every single guy. They'd be like, "Oh, Wilder hasn't fought the guy in the top 10." Like, a top 10 of what? The top 10 of what?
Top 10 won't touch BoxRec, because BoxRec makes Wilder like number 4 or 5 pound for pound. They won't touch BoxRec anymore. If you've seen that.
But for real though, a top 10 of what?
Yeah, there's so many sanction bodies you can't.
Because they have to understand that Bermain Stavern, right? Chris Arreola, right? And a lot of those guys, before Wilder was even mentioned of, were on ESPN's top 10.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
And
was on Ring Magazine's top 10 for heavyweight.
Yeah, Stavern is the thing is, the Stavern win is really hard to argue with some of these guys, because Stavern across the board was the best heavyweight outside of Klitschko or Povetkin. He was basically number 2, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and a lot of people picked Stavern in that fight.
Yeah.
The problem is the turnover, right? We have a lot of fans come in with AJ and then say, okay, he hasn't fought somebody in the top 10. Okay, he hasn't, maybe not, as before when he wasn't a champion, but like you said, top 10 of what? Stavern you can't really dispute, and they were all top 10 in the WBC. Now, if you want to look at some of the fighters, okay, Eric Molina, right? But AJ fought Eric Molina too.
And remember, Eric Molina was one of them too. He was one of them on ESPN's top 10.
Yeah, he was.
I remember because when I was making my spreadsheet, I went and started looking at the ESPN stuff. Because see, this is how I went down I was making. I couldn't find the WBC's old ranking, old files, right? The actual PDF of their monthly rankings, right? But then sometimes they don't put them out every month, right? So I thought in my head, I was like, damn, you know what? It's probably on the WBC website, but I can't. I gotta search for. I gotta like put in the URL spot. I'm basically typing in different things, trying to find the actual path to the actual folder, and I found it. So I started redoing my list off of the WBC thing, and actually some of those guys that Deontay Wilder fought, I didn't do it because I would have made it a little bit bigger, take some more time. Were actually ranked higher in other weight and other safety bodies. So you know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why I was trying to tell people is like top 10 of what? And then they want to say, Alexander Povetkin got one of the best resumes. Yeah, he probably do. I haven't looked at his. But guess what? If you're going to say Dillian Whyte has one of the best resumes out of the heavyweight division, you can't put losses down as an accolade.
I don't get that. I'm going to let Watcher jump in here. Watcher, do you have anything to say? Yeah, but what I was going to say is what you said about putting losses as accolades. It seems they like to do that a lot, in the UK, I found. Not everybody there, but, a loss is not part of your resume. That shouldn't be a shining achievement.
That shit is not going to get you in the Hall of Fame, damn for sure.
Yeah, that's putting it lightly.
And then, this is another kicker. We saw that Bermuda Stavern was a shell of himself. Well, it wasn't a shell of himself. He ain't been working out.
Yeah, in the second fight.
Yeah. We all saw Andrew Lee wasn't working out, but ain't nobody saying nothing about that. We took it for what it was. We said, well, that's his fault.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't say that for Bermuda Stavern. All up in our conversation. They just said, oh, see, he never won shit. See that shit, blah, 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 with the whoop, blah. What the fuck are you? Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? It's like, there's always a, like what Blue Blood always said. We get a touchdown, and then they tell us we got to go 50 yards back to kick the field goal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It is always something else when you get in a conversation with these guys. You could be talking about Canelo, then all of a sudden we got to talk about Wilder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you want to talk about Dillian White, but then you want to interject that. Well, see, Wilder should have took the loss like Dillian White did. I'm like, so I told them this. Why does it matter to you if Wilder made excuses or not? Why does it matter? I was like, no matter how you put it, this shit is written in stone. He got his ass whooped. This is written in stone. Ain't no taking it back. Ain't none of that. You can't delete the footage. None of that. This is written in stone. So why do you care if he make excuses, his fans make excuses, blah blah blah, woo woo woo? Why do you care? And he's like, well, the reason why I care is because some shit that don't fucking matter to boxing. Like are you a fan of boxing or a fan of boxers? See, because at the end of the day is we all pay. We literally pay to watch good matches. We're literally paid to watch good matches of two guys literally beating their brains, bashing each other's brains in. And sometimes kicking the motherfucking dick in the dirt. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't understand, like, why does there have to be chivalry in boxing when it comes to your opponent? You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I don't care if Deontay Wilder knocked out Tyson Fury and spat on him.
Yep.
I wouldn't care. Even if Tyson Fury did the Wilder, I'll be pissed off and shit, but I'll be like, damn. Like, at the end of the day, why does it fucking matter? You know what I'm saying? I told the dude, well, you know what? Dillian White's gonna get another shot. If he happens to win and stuff like that, he still will never be a heavyweight champion. See what I'm saying? He still won't be a heavyweight champion. He's still gonna be the Dillian White looking gassed out in the 8th round. He's still gonna be that Dillian White. You're coming into fights too fucking heavy for your optimal performance. You're coming into fights too heavy. You slim it down and then you bloating up all the time. You slim it down and you bloating up all the time. So you know what that means to tell me? You're working your ass off in that gym. And maybe a little bit too hard. Maybe a little bit too hard. Maybe that's why you had a little something in your PP.
Are we just going free for the topic?
I guess. Yeah. Yeah, well,
That's all right. Yeah.
You can talk about.
You can talk about anything you want.
No, I was just following what Mike said, like about Dillian. Obviously, I mean, fuck, I don't know why they're rushing this rematch. Like, when you get knocked out like that, you lose something. All right, it's different to a stoppage. You get hit on the chin that hard, you're asleep before you hit the ground, and your head bounces off, and your head bounces off the canvas more than once. Not just a boom boom. It's like boom boom boom, right? So this isn't good for Wyatt to take the rematch this early. I mean, Eddie Hearn, it just shows you Eddie, right? Eddie's a cold dude, man. You know.
I don't think Eddie got nothing to do with it.
Well,
I don't think, because he on a fight-by-fight basis with him. I don't think, and they got a rematch. I don't think Eddie has a say on postponing the fight and shit like that. No, I don't think he has a say.
Why is there a rematch? Realistically, why is there a rematch?
I'll tell you why there's a rematch.
The contract.
Because they can.
Yeah, basically.
Because they can. It's like I keep trying to tell folks it's like you can't dictate what somebody, but fans can't dictate what somebody is allowed to put in a contract. There's nothing in the WBC rules that says a fight like this can't have a rematch in there. There's nothing. There's something in there saying they don't have to recognize it, but the WBC not recognizing it doesn't do anything. You know why it doesn't do anything? Is because because them two parties signed an agreement with each other. And guess who at the end of the day countersigned that contract, because the WBC reviews those contracts, because guess what? Too, yeah. They're making sure that everything in that contract is legal, and they're making sure the amounts that everybody is getting and stuff like that, so they can get their cut.
Yeah. Remember, I don't mean to cut you off, but you were telling me about rematches and things like that. What was it, in December? And I was screaming about how I didn't want to see a third fight because Wilder was going to destroy Fury and this, that, and the other. And if there wasn't a rematch, now, thank God there is a rematch. If there wasn't, I would have been sweating. Remember last December, I was talking with Mike. Oh, I don't want to see a third fight. He's just going to wipe the floor with him and be done with it. And Mike, you were telling me, you said, listen, there's going to be a third fight because that's what they do in contracts. I said, I don't even want to see it because Wilder's going to get the job done. And now, thank God there is one. Otherwise, I would have been sweating in my sleep.
Man, you're a big fan of Wilder, aren't you? I'm a big fan too, but that's the way I saw it. I mean, you didn't look that good against Schwartz. I mean, that guy was terrible. Mm-hmm. And then Wallen, he should have lost that fucking fight. Yeah. I saw that fight a draw, because Wallen did pretty freaking well, but it wasn't that great from Wallen, but he still did okay. And then Wilder, Brazil 1 round. No one's ever going to do that again. No one's going to do that again. Mm-hmm. And then you got Ortiz. He did it in cleaner fashion. I didn't think Wilder looked great because he didn't jab enough in that fight. But the finish was superb. But we were wrong. And that's what you were talking about just then.
Yeah.
But there was something I was going to say. But I forgot though. But I
cut you off right in the middle though.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's no biggie. But like that's what it is with these guys. Like, when you're a fighter and stuff like that, or you're an athlete and stuff like that, it ain't about what's healthy and stuff like that. It don't have nothing to do with all that stuff. It really has everything to do with the fighting spirit. You know what I'm saying? And what it takes to be a champion and stuff like that. We saw Tyson Fury bow down out of a rematch and fight two guys and then, in my opinion, play around with Tom Schwartz, and Tom Schwartz caught his ass. And after that, you know what I'm saying? After he caught his ass, you know, he had to respect it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why after that he fought a different fight. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, when we all look at this stuff, like I tell a lot of people, is with these contracts and stuff like that, and these things that happen behind the scenes with fighters and stuff, you know, I'm not saying that sometimes there shouldn't be rematches. Sometimes there should be rematch clauses and stuff like that. I mean, rematch clauses in contracts. But at the end of the day, we have to see it as the aspect of, from the fighter's perspective, the promoter's perspective, and stuff like that, because that's how we get a better understanding of the game. You know what I'm saying? A better understanding of the game, you know, allows us to have a better understanding on where the game should be. You know what I'm saying? If somebody was to ask you, you know, your 2 cents on what's wrong with the sport of boxing, you know what I'm saying? And some people would say the government needs to get involved. Well, you know, you need to act. Well, you want the government to get involved, you know, to see what the government's been doing with this country, and you see what the government's been doing with other countries. You know what I'm saying? Because our laws is based off of the laws over there. The way the laws is written over here is the same way the laws is written up over there. You know, that's what it's based off of. You know what I'm saying? The Queen's language. You know what I'm saying? And we're a byproduct of the conniving rich people and stuff like that. This whole country is. And so when you start digging down into things, and this is how it's going to be until, you know, the boxing fans stick together and make our voices heard, which I don't see that happening, period, because a lot of these guys don't want to talk about boxing and put their shit aside and stuff like that. We need to, there should be a movement. The movement should be is y'all need to listen to us. Y'all need to listen to the fight fans, you know, and give us the fights that we want, or you won't get paid. You know what I'm saying? There's enough streaming apps around here, streaming services around here for free to watch these fights. And if we stop watching this shits, there ain't gonna be no site fees being paid up front. There's gonna be people going into debt. There's gonna be fighters not getting paid what they want. And there's gonna be, and then they're gonna get to realize that y'all gotta give us something. They ain't gotta give us it all the time. You know what I'm saying? But they gotta, you know, if you only fight 2 times a year, you know, 1 time out of that 1 year, you gotta give us a good fight. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, what's up with these damn fight cards? You know what I'm saying? And these fight cards, the main event might not be all that, but at least allow these fights before the main card, give us something. You know, but that white KO, you know, Derek Bailey said that white KO took some fights off his career. That dude should have taken some time off. I don't know if it took some fights off the time, but I'll tell you what Dillian White said. Dillian White said he got knocked down, and then, you know, he got back up. He said he was fine, blah, 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 woo, woo. But we all know when that motherfucker got up, he was woozy to the motherfucker.
Yeah, he was still shaky.
You know what I'm saying? If he had to get up after that shit, even after resting and get up and he got hit again, he would have probably been carted off in a stretcher. You know what I'm saying? And it just sucks. We see this, and I don't think Dillian White even has a chin like that.
That's what I'm saying, man.
I don't think. No.
Yeah,
I don't know. Go ahead.
Yeah, like I'm saying, I don't. Thing is, I thought he had a chin, actually, around the AJ fight, even, but he was getting touched there too. I don't know. I think it got worse, if anything. I don't know if it was all that great, like you're saying. You're saying that it wasn't all that great to begin with, so it could be that. I don't know. I don't know if it got really worse or what had happened, but I'm not sure.
Well, he's taken a lot of damage. AJ fight was a bad knockout.
Mm-hmm.
Chisora fight. That was a war the first time, and I think he lost that fight.
A lot of people.
He, in my eyes, he lost that night. His actual body language spoke that he lost that fight. The Hellenius fight.
Yeah, he got touched in the second round, and then he did a spiral.
His brain, his eyes were fucking popping out of his forehead.
Yep.
And he was doing the fucking Zumba dance on the ropes almost.
Lucas Brown, no, that was a walk in the park.
Parker,
yes,
Rivas, Whack, and now this.
Whack fight was hard. That last fight he had was not the one he just lost, but the Whack fight was really, really hard. I know Brooklyn scored it. What did Brooklyn score? A draw. Yeah, and I had it 6-4 to White. It was a really close fight. 6-4.
Yeah.
10 rounds. Yeah, it was close. Very close.
I think that I don't even think White will really get to fight the big names. And if he does, there's not really much. I think his best, the top three guys, the big names, probably Fury's the easier fight.
Yeah.
Just because he hunts him down to the body, and I think he could have more success there. But I think AJ and Wilder annihilate him. Send him to the Shadow Realm again. Wilder is probably the worst style matchup
for him. Yeah,
he uses that weird upper body movement. Dillian Whyte does very bad against fighters that use reactions and timing, anticipation. He's flat-footed. He'll be too slow. He'll always be second to the mark. I think it's like Brazil, that fight. And with Joshua, I agree with what Joshua says when he says, I'll do whatever the fuck I want in the ring with White, because he probably will. You know, he's just, Dillian's good. He's not trash and garbage like people say. But he's just not really, I don't think he can beat Joshua and Wilder. I don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
But you never know, eh? As always people say. But I did see what Joshua said the other day about Wilder and Fury, which irked me a little bit. He's like, I've got the exact words, but he's like, I fought bigger names, I don't need them, or whatever. Something along those lines.
They wouldn't be the best fight of his, or something like that, which is, I look at it and I hit the big red X in the corner.
It's all talk now. See, it's not a good look. Again, look spectacular against Pulev, and a lot of fans are going to have more faith in you because, again, that fight with Ruiz, that is one of my favorite Joshua fights to watch, the second one, because I liked how he did that around the ring. But that is not as convincing as your other performances, and it doesn't look good against a guy like Ruiz, who visually at least, and from the first fight, looking at that, it's a mess. And people keep talking about Joshua Fury. It's not happening. Okay, you've got Pulev who's mandatory. Fury's got to get through Wilder. Povetkin and White, you know, one of them's going to be mandatory after that second fight. And you then got another mandatory with Joshua when Usyk and Chisora fight. And Eddie Hearn will want to make Chisora. If Chisora wins, he will want to push that fight because it's just, you know, in London, Wembley in England, he'll want that. So people are just getting too enthusiastic over Joshua Fury, you know? It's not happening.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it will happen, though, down the line, but not for all the belts. And not anytime soon.
Not soon. Eventually, but right now, no, it's not happening.
Yeah. They think it'll be for all the belts, and no, I don't think. I don't think. I think Wilder will win this next fight.
He better win.
I just have this funny feeling.
He better win.
This has happened to him before, right? But not like this. I mean, not hurting the ring or whatever. But he's been KO'd in the amateurs. But he came back and, you know.
He's a tough man. He's a hard man. You know, he came from nothing, you know, and he's got a strong mind and everything. So I'm sure, you know, his ego isn't hurt, as Lance Pugmire says. I think, you know, it would hurt a little bit. I mean, it would hurt anyone a bit mentally. But he's cool, you know. I mean, he'll come back and put on a performance. If he doesn't win, he'll probably put in a freaking A+ effort during his performance. But I hope he wins, and I think he'll win. But it's hard. It's the hardest fight in boxing anyone can take now.
Yeah, I think this time off will let him. It's let him recover. I know he's already in camp right now, supposedly, and I know people have different opinions. I know some people that don't like the silence from him. I don't mind it. I like it personally. I like, you lost, quote unquote, lost, just on the record, but you go under the radar and come back and you do your thing. Everybody likes those stories, right?
Well, I think you go, Mike.
I just think I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't much. I mean, like I said, like, what do you want him to say? That's what I said to a guy. Like, what do you want him to say? Well, I want him to come out and say this about all you LDBC dudes and this and the third. I was like, and what is that going to do? So you want Wilder to come out here and publicly shame somebody because you want boxing to be like love and hip hop. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing is that the way I put it is, a lot of these media guys were against him anyways. You know what I'm saying? So why even talk to them? So what I would do is, if I was Wilder, I would do what I'm supposed to do. I would get my black ass in that motherfucking gym, and I would come back better than I was before. You know what I'm saying? And this is going to be Wilder's new 100%. That's what he's got to find. And he doesn't need to sit up over here and do what Anthony Joshua is doing what Dillian White is doing what all these other fighters is doing on social media and in these interviews and stuff like this, to stay positive, you know what I'm saying? And just do what you got to do. He's not necessarily being silent. He just, on social media, posting videos and shit like that, doing his own thing. You know what I'm saying? Living his life in the gym, scuba diving and stuff like that. So, and we're gonna get it messed up. Scuba diving some work now. But other than that, I tell a lot of people, man, if you want boxing to be like love and hip hop, you part of the problem.
Yeah, too much talk from some of these fans and YouTube channels. I mean, I did a stream just before with Mr. Shelton, and I had some guy come into the chat asking me, why hasn't Wilder spoken yet? Why hasn't Wilder, talked about the interview where he, talked about the costume? Why doesn't he deny it? Well, if he says something, are you even going to believe him?
Right.
Like, all you people want him to talk so badly. You hate this man so much, but you want him to talk. Why is that? You're obsessed. He's not even the heavyweight champion of the world. The heavyweight champion of the world is Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, and they're not even being talked as much as fucking Wilder. And I don't care about who gets talked about the most. I just want to see a fight. All that other stuff is external. It's entertaining, but I want to see the fight at the end of the day. I want to see two men in the ring hit each other in the head and body, and let's see who wins. Let's see who's the best, right? But why do you want what is Wilder saying going to do for you? What is it going to fulfill your obsession with him? And you guys really want him to lose, and you know what? Have that opinion. But if he wins this third fight, I don't want any bullshit. And there will be bullshit, but I'm still saying I don't want bullshit because it's a hard fight. All he's got to do is make minor adjustments. He doesn't need to do much. Just move your feet. If Fury tries to come forward with that herky-jerky, awkward shit, just take the step back and jab and double the jab and hit to the body, because that Big Mama, he don't like it to the body. He winces. I've seen it. I've seen that first fight. We all forget about the first fight. I've seen him wince and heavily breathe there. And yeah, just do your thing, man. Let the Alabama hammer go down.
Yeah. And I agree with you right there, brother. But that's his name of the game. It's like somebody got to be hated. You know what I'm saying? And it's just it just sucks that someone is being hated because of somebody said so. You know what I'm saying? It's not because of he snorted cocaine. It's not because of he had Nandrolone in his system. It's not because he showed up to the fight and didn't tell his opponent, or nobody told his opponent that he switched the gloves or that he popped for PEDs. It's not like he's going around here taking advantage of not so well females on the streets. It's not like that. It's not like he's going to restaurants throwing food at people. It's not like that. It's like, I tell people all, see, I'm telling you guys, Devin Haney and Bill Haney is going to be next to be hated. And I'm going to tell you a prime example why. See, in America, soon as your ass start talking about blackness, that's when motherfuckers going to try to take that away from you. You know what I'm saying? And that it's a hard pill to swallow. Tyrone know what I'm talking about. You would get blackballed over here, and all kind of shit. You won't get movie roles, all kind of shit. And then as soon as you try to apologize, black folks will call you a coon. And then you'll be all on your own. I think what Wilder should do, I think that, at the end of the day, for his fans and stuff like that and stuff, I think that he should come out and at least say what's up to everybody every now and again, and give us a couple videos in the gym and stuff like that. And the reason why I say that is just out of appreciation, you know what I'm saying? For us allowing him to live the life that he gets to live. Because at the end of the day, without us, there wouldn't be no Deontay Wilder, WBC heavyweight champion of the world. That's the only way I put it. I don't think he should come out here and talk about the glove gate and the suit and all this other stuff. I think really that if he does, when he does feel the need to talk about boxing, I think that he should just keep it to where he went wrong in the ring. Like not what went wrong, but where he went wrong in the ring. And how does he plan on coming into the next fight? What weight? Stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, even if Fury cheated, these motherfuckers don't care. They don't give a rat's ass if Tyson Fury cheated. They don't care if Tyson Fury even popped that day, they wouldn't even care. See what I'm saying? So I would just I'm not talking about y'all, but like just people in general. I think that they should just leave that glove shit and all that shit alone until he says something about it. Until he, till we said something about it. Until we had the champ coming out here on video and live live and in color, or on a phone conversation, actually, saying how they go about to figure out that that the blow that he took couldn't just come from a padded glove, or that he was drugged, or that Tyson Fury's gloves were manipulated with at some point. That's what I'm saying. And if I was Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury comes in with those same path and gloves or whatever, I would do so too. But I would have a little bit more extra padding in the hand that I got to protect, and I'll give him that nice little Alabama jab all day with the path and gloves on, and fuck his shit up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because, like I said, sometimes you can't beat people at they. Sometimes you can't play your own game and beat people. Sometimes you got to play their game. You know what I'm saying? And Tyson Fury, I don't think his boxing abilities is all that.
Yeah, same.
I said this last year.
Times, yeah. Before then, I think.
I don't think it's all that. He's very hittable. He's been hit. He's been knocked down a lot, more than Anthony Joshua. Hell, against the same type of competition. Hell.
Yeah, there's no way you can keep going down and you don't stay there. You're going to stay there eventually. You've been there so many times.
Yeah, and that's one thing. Deontay Wilder's left hook. He needs to shorten that up, man. That's too wide. It's too wide. It's too slow. Very predictable. That hook has to be something that has to be set up. It shouldn't be something that's timed. You shouldn't be trying to use that on the counter against Tyson Fury. I would throw a short hook in the inside, and when I'm throwing my right hand, when I'm in the inside, I'm going to be throwing it in a downward angle, just like he do. So when he's trying to do that slip and the slide to side, I'm not going to throw a hook with the right hand. I'm gonna throw it at a downward angle at his chest, and it gotta hit something. Because guess what? Even though you bobbing and weaving while you on the inside, you're slipping punches because motherfucker throwing hooks. The body don't move, baby. So even if you hit him in the body, that is going to prevent him from throwing another punch because you're going to push him back. You're going to get him a little bit off balance.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He just got to figure out different punch places in different situations for this guy because, he's not all that, and eventually, like you said, eventually somebody gonna make him stay down. And you know what? If you look how they stopped that fight with Dillian White, and you look how they didn't stop the fight with the first fight with Wilder and Tyson Fury, that first fight, and a couple of the other fights that have been passing by, that is kind of awkward. Thank you, Jack Reese.
Man.
No cameras.
No. Yeah, Mike's right. Hit him to the body. Do a lot of things. Take away and do a lot of things what you did in the first fight. That body jab is gold. You just keep stabbing him to the body and he will fucking fall. He will fold. I'm telling you, he doesn't take it well. If you were hittable against Joey Abel, you were hittable against Wilder. And we have seen it in the first fight. Throw that hook to the body and make sure the hook is short, like a shovel hook, sort of like a nice, short, compact, tight hook. Don't wing it, because if you wing it, the smaller knuckles or the outside of your glove is going to connect and it won't do any damage. So just throw it nice and short. And don't go on that back foot, all right? Hold center, feint, upper body movement. You can go back, but he's probably better off going on the front foot because he can let his combinations go. I remember in the first fight, it was round 10 seconds left, and fucking Wilder, he throws this right body hook, then he throws a hook, then he throws a jab, a right hand, a fucking uppercut, a right hand, a hook, another right hand, all the way across the ring. He misses all the punches, but you need to throw. You need to let your hands go at times, especially with this fight. Because when Fury is trying to roll under the punches, if you throw the hook on an awkward angle, it'll hit the shoulder, it'll hit the body, but it can also hit his head. Because there were a few times in that first fight where Wilder, he'd fake the right hand to the head, and then he'd dip, and then he'd throw a body hook, but sometimes the hook would land on Fury's chin. So that hook, shorten it up, just add a feint or some sort of setup to it, a jab, some sort of stepping feint. And yeah, man, just, take this guy. Beat him with volume as well. Do it like...
I think... Go ahead,
I'll finish off. I like what Adonis Stevenson used to do. Tyrone, Adonis, right? He used to go to head, body, right? Now he's a much smaller guy, and he's got shorter reach and everything.
That right hook he would throw.
Yeah, he reminds me of Wilder in the sense of how he was avoided, and in the sense of how big of a puncher he was, and the way he could fight on the back foot and fucking counter you. He could go forward and go to war, but that right hook, it set a lot up. It came over the top.
A lot over the top, or he would do it to the body sometimes, like he did in the Williams fight.
Yeah, and he had good setups, really good head and body, and he had a good defense as well. So I want something like that. I want a good body attack, a very heavy base, strong attack. Not all of it to the body, but a lot of it.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. And the reason why is because, when you look at it, it's like sometimes with your opponents, man, you gotta make them respect you. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes in life, even when you're not a fighter and stuff like that, sometimes in order for you to get somebody to respect you, is to give them a reason to respect you for. You know what I'm saying? Either, work ethic, money, or putting hands on it. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And I seriously think that, after, looking at the first fight and the second fight, no matter what condition you came in the ring, you had to do something. Couldn't just stand there and let this dude swing on you. You literally had to do something. And the best thing he should have did was fake that right hand. Tyson Fury's going to have two options when he faked that right hand. He's either going to back up or he's going to throw something. And when he throws something, that's showtime. And you had no choice. You was already in bad shape. You had no choice but to put everything in the inside while he's swinging. Put something in there. You know what I'm saying? To make sure you keep this guy off of you, or to put him down on the mat. You know what I'm saying? Especially that last round. That last round. That's what I would have did. I would have said, fuck it. This is not going to go to a decision. You know what I'm saying? My legs is gone, energy gone. I'm about to eventually, I'm going to be on this canvas. At that point, you had nothing to lose. I even made a video after that fight. Left the homie's house on my way to the bar. I was like, damn, Deontay Wilder got his ass whooped. And then I'm looking around all this thing. It's like people were saying, oh, we making excuses and shit like that. We can't admit that Deontay Wilder lost. I'm like, what the hell are you guys talking about? Like, But at the end of the day is maybe Deontay Wilder. I'm not saying he was. I said maybe. Maybe this is a good thing. Maybe he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. Maybe the same reason why Andrew Ruiz whooped on Anthony Joshua is the same reason why Tyson Fury whooped on Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? Didn't take it serious. You had him in the first fight. You go into this one. You studying film. You know what I'm saying? You maybe not doing this, maybe not doing that, maybe not treating your body right, your legs, your conditioning, and stuff like that. And this is what you get. You know, maybe that's the case.
Wilder did say something, I think. He said in the PBC interview after the Fury fight, it was in around April, he said something along the lines that made me go, oh, okay. It made me go, he said, it's hard to keep that motivation when you're at the top for so long. And he said, and it's not that I didn't have any, it's that I just had a bit less. Something along those lines. And that made me think, And then I thought, maybe, because you had the Ortiz fight, you had December off. In 2 months, you got to fight, my man. You got to stay motivated. If you don't stay motivated, you might not be looking after your body, like you said, Mike. So that I heard that months ago. That made me think, ooh.
And that bicep shit, right? That Wilder's sparring partner came out and said, we already knew that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said already.
Yeah. He said that back in April. I think in that same interview. It's like, so it's like somebody put that out there to literally, put some more attestation on excuses. So what if his bicep was torn? If that's the case, you should know it's like, damn, if his bicep was really torn, then damn, he wasn't in good shape coming into the fight. How the fuck is that an excuse?
You must have watched Fanon's video. Remember, I don't know if you've watched it, but he made a video once about the costume thing. People were saying excuses, and he said like a fucking school teacher. He's like, there's a difference between an excuse and an explanation. And right, he always makes me laugh when he says that. But if you if he was injured, right, he hasn't even really like he said he injured his bicep during the fight. That's what I heard on the PBC radio interview, right? That ain't a fucking excuse because he's not directing blame that he lost due to that. So it's not a fucking excuse.
And then not only that is like, that one guy said, I put it like this. You was not writing down word for word what somebody is saying as they speaking as you're doing the interview, right? Even if the person called you on the phone and you're doing a phone interview, you are recording so you can go back and you could jot down your notes for an article, right? How come there's no audio on Wilder talking about his costume?
Probably because the interview never happened.
I think it did happen because they was quoting him. And they kept the article up. Well, the thing about it is that I said is that nobody, because I read the article and I immediately was like, this is dumb. It's like they didn't even go into the context of the question. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why I think, really, to tell you the truth, when you look at articles like that, nobody in their right mind is going to do that shit on their own. Nobody is not on their right mind is going to go out there and slander somebody. Well, not slander, but write something like that about a fighter on that caliber of fighting. See what I'm saying? Especially when you're supposed to be this world-renowned sports analyst, sports writer. See what I'm saying? Because when you do stuff like that, the way he did it, you lose integrity. You know what I'm saying? Because you are a journalist, right? So it shows me and it tells me that somebody paid him to write that shit just like that. You think with these Dan Raphaels, these Michael Coppingers, Michael Bensons, Lance Pugmire, all these guys right here, no boxers out there, hey man, I give you a couple grand if you write this article on me and blah blah blah, we'll do a move and make it look good, or every now and again, say something about this dude. Like, look, man, I got this to say about this guy, man. I'll give you a couple dollars in your pocket. MTK Global. Hell, the boxing scene. They was with the zone. Hell. Look at that Akin whoever boxing thing. They don't know nothing about boxing.
Boxing scene, that Indian dude, Manuk.
Yeah, somebody not boxing scene, to my Akin Bak or whatever the name is. Boxing scene is cool though, but that Akin Bak shit, I ain't never.
Akin Barrett. Oh yeah, that guy.
And then that new guy, I don't know. I think he's a new guy on YouTube, but I never heard of him until like this year. That Mr. Moonshine.
Yeah,
I ain't never listened to that guy. After that dude told me on Twitter, he wrote a whole thing on Twitter, and then I asked him like, what do you mean by that? And he said this, quote. He said, "Damn, I gotta." I gotta find it. I can't find it. I don't want to misquote it, so I gotta find it.
Yeah, it's all right. While he finds that, Malik Scott?
The professional sparring partner.
Yeah. Fucking this guy, man. I'm Team Wilder, man, but fucking hell, some of these dudes are fucking sensitive as hell.
Uh-huh.
He puts his fucking video up of this, like, I know in America sometimes the cult, disciplining your children is a bit different, but I mean, he puts a video up of these of this father, right? And his son, they got boxing gloves on, and he's like, "You've been fucking disrespectful." And
I think I saw that one. And
the father just throws his fucking overhand right, and just knocks his son out.
Oh god, damn.
And Malik's fucking posted this on his Instagram, and he's like, "Oh, the setup to this was sexy." He baits him there, and then he dips to his left, and he throws the right hand. And then I go, first off, this is not special at all. He just threw a wild right hand, and he threw it normally how I've seen it thousands of times. And then I said, we don't even know the backstory to this, and it's not special at all. And quite frankly, that looks like assault to me. So then he blocks me. So I email him and I say, you blocked me over that? And then he fucking wrote this paragraph to me about he doesn't like negativity and this and that. I won't go on about the whole email, but I thought, mate, that's fucking bullshit. Don't you ever fucking say that shit again. Okay?
Yeah, I always thought
like no wonder some people Dude, am I fucking saying anything about the fucking half-naked woman that you're with on Instagram?
Yeah, that's what what caused me to say that he's weird.
Yeah. So don't fucking come at me and say that I'm negative. Dude, I'm not negative. I'm just calling it for what it is.
She's a big one too.
It's two guys in the fucking street hitting each other with gloves. And one of them's been knocked out, and you're fucking trying to compare it to how fucking Larry Holmes controls people with his jab. Like, what the fuck, Malik? Get real, my man. You're 38. Okay? You're older than me, and you're acting like a fucking girl that on Instagram who's not getting a fucking follow back. Oh, come on, dude. Grow the fuck up. Anyway, go ahead, Mike.
Nah, I was like, you know, that's just what it is. It's like, you know, people that come on social media and they act like they don't know how to read and comprehend sometimes. And so, you know, they don't properly look at what they're being told. They just go off in a tangent off of what they feel and what they think, not with what they know. And that's what I see a lot of times, like when you go on somebody's YouTube channel and you say something and then they just go off, but they misquoting what you wrote, and they don't get it. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why when people say things on my channel and on y'all channels, I don't fucking be all up in their ass and shit like that. Like, I try to get an understanding on what they're saying and stuff like that, because I know you don't want to fucking, whether it's somebody new on your channel, no matter how many subscribers you got and shit like that, you don't want to create no fucking hostile fucking environment and then have people in your chat room acting like this is the Roman days and motherfuckers front and center, everybody's throwing cabbage at him, off with his head, off with his head. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, stop bandwagon, you know what I'm saying, and listen to what people got to say sometimes, man, because, you know, maybe they might have some valid points and stuff like that, you know. That's the reason why I don't like a whole bunch of, sometimes I get hyped and shit like that, but I don't like yelling at people and shit, you know what I'm saying, because, you know, I'm gonna tell you something. See, back in the day,
what were you gonna say about your Twitter, Mike?
Huh?
About the guy. The guy on Twitter. You were gonna quote something. I can't
pull it up on my phone. But let me see. Back in the days, like, you didn't have social media and shit like that. So when two people were debating, it wasn't always who had the right shit to say. A lot of the times, the person that was right lost because the person that's doing all the yelling, hipping and hopping, making side jokes and shit like that is getting people that's on the outside in to validate this dude's shit. So a lot of people were winning just off of the volume of their voice and jokes and shit like that, or they probably were just a smooth talker. But now when you come on these people's channels, it gets kind of to the same point. Motherfucker can literally pull up something and then read it and then trick his audience into believing that the other person's wrong.
Yeah. There's too much of that going on, I think.
You know what I'm saying? And
Tyrone, I put something in the chat.
Oh, okay. Let me check this right quick here. Command C, Command V.
Hold on, let me check something.
All right, yeah, no problem. Slow-mo.
If you put that on 0.25 speed, you see all the detail, man. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I was telling my my friend that. I was like, I said, have you ever noticed when these guys get KO'd, they just stiffen up like a pencil? Like, they can be like literally leaning over to their right side or their left side or going back. You know, they could be in any sort of position.
Tyrone. I got it right here.
Okay.
So this Mr. Moonshine guy, right? He talks boxing and shit like that, right, on YouTube, right? He said if it wasn't for George Floyd would still be alive.
I just shook my head at that.
That's the reason why. That's the reason why I can't fuck with that dude. And I saw that dude on somebody else's channel, and I just dipped because I was like, I don't want to be around that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like people would literally think that the cops standing on somebody's neck got their knee on somebody's neck for 9 minutes. Somebody that was actually having mental distress deserves to die. You know what I'm saying? They just had like a kid, mom called the police to help him out because his kid was having a mental breakdown due to his health condition. So he was having an episode. Needless to say, he didn't have a whip or anything, but the cops shot that motherfucker in the ankle, the leg,
Jesus,
the intestines.
What on earth?
And shit
so
like
why
that.
Why they call the police in the first place?
They called him because the dude got mental issues. Like he was having a mental issue because he got Asperger's or something like that.
Didn't something similar? I saw the Daniel Prude thing. The brother went and did that shit anyway. They killed him. Who puts a bag over somebody's head? They said stop him from spitting. No, they said, all right, we're gonna kill you now.
Well, the bag is supposed to be out of mesh made out of mesh, so you can actually breathe out of it. But another thing is, it was cold as fuck outside, so who knows? It was snowing, and he had him on the pavement in the middle of the street. So, you know,
I would not be putting a bag over something.
And he was naked. So they knew he was having a mental episode, but everybody knows that there's only see, if you ever had a big girl, you would know this.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you ever had a big girl, you would know this. If you ever had a big girl on your lap, you'll be all right for the first, 30 seconds, a minute or 2 minutes. But eventually, something's going to go fucking numb.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, imagine if somebody was constricting your breathing and you're trying 100% your whole body just to try to breathe for 9 minutes.
Yeah.
You're not going to last, especially if you're having a mental episode. So, he was in a state that he couldn't do nothing for himself. You know what I'm saying? So that's what people have to understand is that, in life, everything is not so simple, and when you say shit like that, if it wasn't for George Floyd would still be alive. Would you? Look that man's parents, his grandparents, his brother, his sister in the fucking face and say that shit?
No,
so why would you put it out there on social media for everybody to see? Because even if you would do that, as a man, that shows what kind of character you have. You're fucking sick. You know what I'm saying? You're fucking sick. And maybe you should have that done to you. So somebody could tell your parents if it wasn't for your son, he'd still be alive. Why would you say something like that? Know what kind of pain that you could cause somebody? Because you want to give people your fucking opinion. Or you want to say your opinion is facts. That's the reason why I can't fuck with that dude.
This is Moonshine, dude?
Yeah.
Mr.
Moonshine.
I don't even know why he was basically, yeah, he was probably high out of his mind, but even he was still able to say, don't kill me, please don't kill me, don't kill me. So why do it? I don't get that. Why put the foot on his neck if you know this guy is past it?
Yeah.
That's what that's what I don't get. He's basically telling you not to do it, and you go out of your way to do it. They went out of their way to do it.
I got it, and this is my thing, right? This is one of my strongest arguments, right? If you have protocol that says that you're not supposed to do that, put your knee on somebody's neck, right? And you do it, and somebody dies, right? What should happen to you? If you at work, right, and somebody tells you, hey, man, do not fucking press this button while anybody's in that room, right? And you see somebody in that room, and you close that door, and you press that fucking button, right? And somebody fucking dies. What the fuck do you think should happen to you?
Should be arrested.
You should be locked the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I've been in situations like that. Like I had to roll up in the detainee cell and extract people. Extract detainees out of there.
Mm-hmm.
See, I was in a situation that I could have fucked them up if I wanted to. Right? But I said to myself, what the fuck would that shit do?
Yeah, at least make it a fair deal.
You know what I'm saying? What the fuck would that shit do? Like, why should I sit up over here and basically exert my will over somebody when all I got to do is just go in there and drag them out and let them cool off for a second and then put them back in their cell or take them whatever they need to be? Like, why do I have to sit up over there and literally bully somebody that can't defend themselves?
Mm-hmm.
Or somebody that can't defend themselves and entrusted in my care. I told you to get your ass down and start beating him up. And then he fucking dies. Or you hurt him to the point to where you got to take him to the hospital. You see what I'm saying? Like, what is that going to do? Like, what kind of person are you mentally if you think that just because you are in power that you have to go against everything that you was trained to whoop on somebody?
Right.
Or to act like you better than them, or shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You know how many motherfuckers over there that think that they better than somebody just because, you know, their quality of life is not the same, or because they have a notion because, oh, he's a detainee, he got to be dumb, he's an Iraqi, he got to be dumb and shit like that. You know how people over there just think that they could just bully people?
He's an Iraqi. Okay, go ahead.
Lots. Lot of them. And then they come back over here and work for the police force. Yeah, man. Shoot. See, you know, that's the main thing about this, man. Like, a lot of people are just like, they bullies in life, they bullies, or they life sucks, and they come on social media and
take it out.
They think that they can, yeah. They take, yep. There you go. Take all they woes out on somebody else that never done them harm, and just talking about boxing, and they just get so fucking invested into just wanting to be right and trying to be entertained off of shit and thinking that everything is sweet, that they don't even know who the fuck they are no more.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I gotta lay some down.
Okay, all right, I get you. All right, man.
Yeah,
have fun with that.
yeah. Thanks for letting me in.
Yeah, pause.
I
All
know.
right, bro. Yeah, take care. Have a good night.
What?
Yeah, peace out, everybody.